If the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, Texas is ready to implement a ban on abortions. The state has what's called a trigger law that would take effect 30 days after the high court's decision.
And as you can imagine, it is changing the landscape for both anti-abortion groups and abortion rights organizations that help pregnant women. Our Capitol correspondent Jayla Washington is live now at the Capitol, where it seems there's mixed reaction today from both sides. Jayla.
Hey, Britt. Yeah, well, this is just one of two protests we know happening here in Austin today. As you can see, people outraged at the possibility of abortion rights being overturned. Now, there is certainly a new uncertainty that women who are unexpectedly pregnant are facing, but I can tell you there are groups on both sides who are prepared to help women, and they are expecting a demand for their resources. Inside of the heart of Texas Pregnancy Resource Center, Executive Director Debbie Wiemeyer helps families daily. Now she's imagining what things might look like for them if majority of abortions in Texas become illegal.
We have prayed for Roe v. Wade to overturn for many decades now. We are prepared and ready to help the women. I was very surprised.
Surprised is something I've heard from both anti-abortion organizations like Wiemeyer's and those who support abortion rights. Amanda Beatriz Williams is an executive director of a nonprofit, Lilith Fund, that helps pay for abortions.
It means tragedy. It means people being forced to carry their pregnancies against their will. It means more suffering.
She's also preparing for how her organization will have to adapt, in some cases helping more with travel.
About 80% of our callers are getting abortions out of state. We also work with practical support organizations that help, book the lodging, pay for the lodging, help with the travel.
The potential for Roe v. Wade to be overturned was heightened by the passage of Texas SB 8, the most restrictive abortion law in the country. Legally, it's been challenged back and forth since September last year.
We've seen that even when that has been challenged to the Supreme Court has let that law stand. Presumably because they knew they were going to be striking down Roe v. Wade.
Regardless of what happens, women will still have to make decisions about their pregnancies. And there are groups standing by to help them. Now, keep in mind, last session, Texas lawmakers did approve $100 million for alternatives to abortions. That money will specifically go toward groups who do not support abortions. Critics have said that there's little money that actually goes to pregnant women in need. Now, this protest that you guys see happening right here that is growing in size as we speak, it's happening all across the country today. People on both sides waiting for the final word from the Supreme Court. Britt and Robert, back to you guys.